Well, hello everyone, Spencer here, also known as ScreenSpeak, and this is episode 4 of my podcast, Behind the Screen. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright, so welcome to episode 4 of Behind the Screen, where I talk about my life, movies in my life, and pretty much it. So, yes, today's is a fun one. I try to make this fun, always fun. But I had a great weekend. So, I have some stuff to talk about today. I want to mention stuff. I'm going to mention like my fun-filled weekend later in this episode. I'm going to try to make this a longer episode. But I went on a camping trip with some new people that I got to make memories and make friendships with over the weekend from here at BG on campus. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to mention some movie stuff first, and you know, this is fall break for me, so I'm doing this my last day of fall break. But I was going to watch a movie today until I decided not to. And it's not Joker 2. We're going to talk about Joker 2. I was going to watch The Lone Ranger because I'm taking a pop culture class, and we watched the movie Stagecoach, and it wasn't really for me. And I'm okay. I'm not a big Western person, but I like Westerns here and there, and, you know, people riding horses. Like, I have the poster looking right in front of, is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. When they're riding horses, oh, that's magical. Oh, mwah. But, you know, it's like, the movie, I always wanted to watch The Lone Ranger. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll go watch that because I'm a huge fan of Rango. I'm thinking about rewatching Rango tonight after this, like, I review this, I'm going to go do some laundry, and then I'm going to watch Rango later tonight. But, so I'm thinking about it. I love Rango. It's an animated film, but it does the Western genre really, really nicely. So I was going to go watch, I'm going to rewatch Rango, because I love that film. I watched it 2 times? No, I've watched it 3 times. So once in a theater, once back in 2020, and I rewatched it again, like, a couple years ago, or like 2022, and then I've watched it. I'm going to watch it again this year. But Rango's great. I was going to watch The Lone Ranger. Like, I looked up, like, the score of Lone Ranger because and then I went to YouTube and I was listening to music last night and I was like, oh, the Lone Ranger finale. And it's literally the William Tell overture. Like, dun 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 dun. And Lone Ranger is this, like, long-running, like, mythical story in the Western genre, and I was like, oh, that's a cool movie. Like, I want to watch, like, Johnny Depp, the Disney big budget, and I saw it got a really low score, so I might watch it at some point just to see how it turns out. I watched this video on, like, why it performs so badly, and I'm like, dang, that's so bad. But now I'm interested to watch it. Like, why did it happen? Like, what happened to it? Because to me, it's not like this big franchise, like something I'm going to discuss in a minute. It's not this big franchise. Like, it's just a Western movie, and I'm really curious and interested to find out what happened with The Lone Ranger, because I'm not like I said, I'm not a big Western person, but I was so interested to see this film with this interesting cast, especially Armie Hammer. Now he's, like, canceled, and especially, I mean, Johnny Depp has had issues, but I like Johnny Depp's stuff. And funny enough, like, Gore, the composer or the director for The Lone Ranger, has done Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp, and he did Rango, which is a great Western film. Even though it's animated, it's a great Western depicted film. So I'm really now interested in watching The Lone Ranger. So I just thought it was a little bit of interesting news. Like, I was, like, so interested to watch this after having, like, a Western topic discussion in my class, and I was a pop culture movie class, and I was like, wow, fascinating. So anyway, from there, I want to talk a little bit about, I didn't make a review on this, the Despicable Me franchise, when number 4 came out this year, because number 4 came out, like, July 4th or something like that. I think it was, like, the first weekend in July. And it was when A Quiet Place Day 1 came out, and I went and saw that instead in theaters with my parents. So, like, great 4th of July movie, guys. Go watch Quiet Place Day 1, 4th of July. Now, Great horror. So it's just like Nosferatu coming out at Christmas. I can't wait. Or Terrifier 3 Christmas movie and Halloween. Can't wait. So anyway, so Despicable Me 4 it definitely ruined the franchise. And there's people that go, oh, well, Minions 2 was great sequel to Minions 1 or a better sequel than the first Minions. I highly disagree. I'm in the minority. I haven't found one person that agrees with me yet that doesn't like. There are lots of people that don't like Despicable Me 4, but I've not found one person that agrees with me that Minions 2 is worse than number 1. And if I have not said this before on the channel, I'll say it to you guys right now because I've said this to many people, parents, family members, friends, and myself. I've specified this just out loud to myself. The first Minions is good because it explores the world, how Minions were created, and their journey to find their big boss, who you know as Gru in the end, right? It's this great story of going through these, even though it might be a little dark in the beginning, it's this great story of trying to find their most despicable boss, going through, the dinosaurs, the caveman, Dracula, Napoleon. I already said Dracula, right? Something like that. Dracula. And the pyramids, the pharaohs, stuff like that, right? Very fun, interesting opening. And then like they're in the Arctic, and then they go to the real world, not like Barbie, but then they go to New York and all that sort of stuff, and it's so fun. Was it New York? Something like New York City. So, and then they find Scarlet Overkill, have this great fight, great story. I like the first Minions. I think it's so rewatchable, and then by the end of it, you find Gru, and it's that despicable ending. And then Minions 2, something about rewatching. Like I tried so hard to watch that movie. It got reworked so many times, and I rewatched it with my parents over the summer. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, some of this is funny. I like Gru, but it just doesn't work. And then from there, they do Despicable Me 4, which is the next film after. Or was it? I think. Did they do 3 and then? No. Minions 2 was last, and then they did Despicable Me 4. Personally, I like Despicable Me 3 more than Minions 2. And the reason to that is because it feels like they continue the trilogy. Like, they have the girls. Like, I know they can't have the girls in the Minions 2, but I like the family elements. And I love the brother relationship. And I really like... And something about 4 that I didn't like. I'm just going to go straight in. The number 4 I didn't like because the brother wasn't there. The time jump is so abruptly stupid. And not the right term. But just so jarringly stupid. And it's like, let's completely take out the brother. And I don't know if it was because they got reception that the brother was bad, or people didn't like the brother, or I'm just like, well, where did he go? And to me, Despicable Me 4 really highlights, this is why I like 3, right? But the relationship between Nefario and Gru and how they work together and on these villainous things, it's like 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are great. 3, even though Nefario's gone, it still has that... Every time I watch 3, that big boss battle with the robot, Balthazar Brat and everything, it feels threatening. 4, nothing is there. And where everybody's talking about, it's just plotline after plotline after plotline. You feel that, but it's so not... There's no threat. There's Maxime Lamal and stuff, and then there's the whole heist, Honey Badger heist. None of it feels like, oh no! They're like... I'm just like, oh, okay, yay. Like, what? I'm watching it with my parents. My dad's like, oh, this is better than 3. I'm trying to see where he's coming from, but he never gave me a direct answer. And I'm just like, okay, sure. If you think it's better than 3, I'm not going to argue with you. And really, that's just how I felt. Like, okay, it's fine. But if I was going to rewatch a Despicable Me film, it'd be 3 over 2. I mean, it'd be 3 over 4. 4 is just going out the window. And if I was going to watch, I would watch Minions 1 over 2. I just really had to discuss this with you guys because I forgot I hadn't talked about 4 yet. So I reviewed 4 on my channel. I was like, I gotta talk about this franchise. It's been like when I was at camp over this weekend, which I'll talk more about. I really got to. I was talking about the movies, and I was like, I love Despicable Kung Fu Panda 4 over this year over Despicable Me 4, and I feel like if I'd watch anything, I'd continue watching Kung Fu Panda franchise over Despicable Me because they ruined that franchise. I mean, like, if they had said, okay, we're gonna end, like, they made Minions 1 and they said, okay, we're just gonna keep Minions 1, and then they said, hey, we're gonna end the trilogy with Despicable Me 3, I would have been cool with that. But the way what bothered me the hell out of me is when they came out with 4 in the trailer, like, no, Gru's brother, Drew, was not even there, and they had that great cliffhanger in number 3 where it's like, let's give him a 5-minute head start. Villain's in my blood, and he's going away, and I'm like, great, I can't wait to see where they go with this, and it's totally gone. And that bothered me because I was been waiting for I don't know how long, 2017, 7 years ago. I had been waiting for that cliffhanger to have been resolved. No, just completely forget about it, and it bothered me. And I was so young, like it was 7 years ago, and I was I'm 20 now. I was 13. I was 13. Excuse me, I had a tickle in my throat. I was 13, and they ruined my childhood. Not they didn't ruin my childhood, but it's just like it was so good. I mean, Despicable Me 3 was random. It wasn't like high peak cinema like the first two were, but it was fun. It was threatening. Like, oh no, is Gru gonna get hit by this laser? Like I was scared. It felt like intense. And then none of that. There was none of that. There was nothing good in Despicable Me 4. Honestly, there was nothing good about Minions 2 either. Like, that's how I felt about Minions 2. It was just like doing things. And then the boss battle happens. But the boss battle is even dumb because then they're just like turned into these zodiac animals that are doing kung fu. Like, yes, they learn kung fu, but it just is so out of the blue. Like, let's learn kung fu so then we can do it in the final act. I'm like, this is chaotic. This is going nowhere. Now, I know they're kids' movies, but at least 1 and 2 had setup, like, had a story progressing as, like, this makes sense. And so did number 3. Like, the bubble, like, the gum, like, the tie-ins, like, the Balthazar Brat acting skills. I liked all that, right? But Minions 2 and Despicable Me 4, they have lost it. They really lost it. And that's all me. Maybe you feel differently. Maybe you're like, no, I liked it. I'm like, the only thing redeemable I liked about Despicable Me, and nothing, I didn't like anything about Minions 2. Only thing I liked about Despicable Me 4 was that Pharrell Williams song, Double Life. I've added it to my playlist. Same thing with the movie Argyle. I've added that song, what was it called? Happy Emotion? No, that's not the right song. Energy. Something Energy. Something Energy. I don't know. That song from Argyle. But it, other than, like, adding songs to my playlist is great for movie. But I mean, I thought Argyle was better than Despicable Me 4. I really did. I'm about to sneeze, but bear with me. But Argyle was better than Despicable Me 4. My opinion. And so is Kung Fu Panda 4, but that's just DreamWorks for you. DreamWorks is good this year, except for Megamind 2. But moving on to things I got turned off. Like I said, I'm gonna probably watch The Lone Ranger, but things I got turned off by watching because of the dang reviews was Joker 2. Joker 2 surprised the hell out of me because I was like, okay, let's see how this does, and thank God I was right about it, because like I don't like judging books by their cover. I don't like judging movies by their cover. Sometimes I do that, and I get, like, I'm a fan, like, I remember when 2019 Hellboy came out, and people were like, this movie sucks, what happened to Hellboy? And I'm like, oh, really? Is it that bad? And I watch it, I'm like, this is fun chaos, like, demon chaos. I don't know what these people are talking about. Maybe I'm not looking at it from the right angle, but whatever. But Joker 2 really solidified how I felt about not all comic book movies, but about this specific comic book movie, about Joker as a franchise, or like these two movies, because they were supposed to make this a one-shot movie. And like I remember I think it was in 2019. Yeah, 2019 when Joker 1 came out. I was talking with my friend. I was playing, like, you can actually find the video on YouTube me and my friend were playing Lego DC Supervillains, and I'm like, Joker 1 was supposed to be a one-shot movie, and then I'm like, it made a bunch of money, and now they want to like make a second one, and I was like, just leave it at one, because we're talking about the Suicide Squad, how I like the characters of Suicide Squad, but that first Suicide Squad movie is god-awful, it's all over the place, the story makes no sense, but Joker 1 was a great character study, but in this one, I haven't seen it yet, but I watched some clips, I watched some like footage of it, and they're just like half talking, half singing, and there's like musical numbers and conversations. It feels so over the place, and like it just I've heard people say like, oh yeah, it's like a courtroom drama, but the ending like doesn't make sense to what happened in Joker 1. It's just goes nowhere with no resolvement. I'm like, great. So that makes me feel like I don't need to watch it then because I've watched the first one and I'm happy about it. Like, I don't need to watch a second one that ruins this first film or anything. I'm just like, well, I couldn't make a good movie. And like, I'm sure they try to make a good movie, but it's so disappointing to me. And I'm asking myself, what happened? Like, on a $200 million movie, like, it's not even that, it doesn't feel that bloated, but it feels like it's just a courtroom drama. Why do you need to spend that much money for it? Like, it's not like it's Indiana Jones 5 or the Marvels or Captain America 4. I'm not going to see Captain America 4 as of yet. I don't want to pay like a $400 million. It's like, it's so confusing, but and I'm not mad. I was mad about yeah, I don't. But Joker 2, I'm just like, good. I'm skipping that movie. But anyway, wow, I'm just so dumbstruck by it. Like and frankly, I'm really excited for Smile 2. I'm excited for Terrifier 3. I'm excited for Sonic 3. I'm excited for Nosferatu. It's the whole thing with I love the Wild Robot. I love Beetlejuice and stuff. I would rather go watch the Transformers 1 over Joker 2, but yeah. But after we came out of Wild Robot, my friends and I were like, or sitting next to me, I was like, yeah, Ariana Grande, I don't understand this whole Wicked thing. And I'm like, I thought I was the only one. Like, I thought, like, they're like, I don't want to see Ariana as Glinda. I'm like, oh my god, thank you. Like, I thought I was the only one. Like, I thought I was going crazy. Like I said, no, I've found no one that doesn't like Minions 2 as much as I do, but I found people that aren't excited about Wicked as much as I am. Like, thank God. Alright, that's my thoughts on Joker 2. Now, I have something to say. So, I'm a big fan of, I started this channel based off of Lego content, and I love the first Lego movie, like, with a passion. Like, I saw that the first time with my homeschool friends growing up, loved it. I like the second one. Like, I'm a big fan of the second one. I think I'm more of a fan of the second one than most people are because of the time travel stuff, because of the coolness of Rex Dangervest, because of the coolness of that Mad Max universe in the first act, and all the sort of stuff they do. The songs are good in the second one and stuff. I like it. Lego Batman movie rules. Love the music in that one as well by Lauren Bell for the soundtrack and the Batman song in the beginning and all that relatable, that father-son stuff. Oh, tugs at the heartstrings and all that good stuff. But I rewatched the Lego Ninjago movie last night, and I gotta tell you, that one's a good one. Like, it's fun. I never been into Ninjago growing up. Like the series, I try to watch the series, try to binge it during COVID, but I never got around. I never finished it. It never stuck with me. I think it's one of those things like it's the animation, but the Lego Ninjago movie has that same style of animation, Lego like Lego slickness, like the other Lego movies do, and it really feels fun. It feels fun, watchable, and digestible in a way, if you know what I mean. Not like because I like to eat Legos, but digestible and like, oh, this looks so good, and you're enjoying the dialogue. Because sometimes when I was watching the Ninjago show, it just felt like either A, I was bored, I didn't understand what was going on, or I was like, I know there was backstory, but it was just like, it didn't feel like, it felt like Clone Wars for kids, or, because Clone Wars is kind of for kids, but like, Ninjago felt like Clone Wars, like drawn out storylines, and I couldn't do it. And now, I like TV shows, but it just felt like, I was like, okay, I'm not here for this. But the Lego Ninjago movie feels digestible, it has a great message, so much fun in it. And I'm like, I could rewatch this so many times, like the Lego Batman movie. But even though I'm not like I love ninjas, and I tried to enjoy, like, I play the Lego Ninjago video game. Like, you can go see it for yourself on the channel. I play the Lego Ninjago video game, and I had a blast with that. But it's been a while since I watched the movie, and I couldn't remember if I had watched it start to finish. So I decided to watch it last night. I decided to rewatch it last night, give it a rewatch of sorts. So yeah, that was that. I loved it a lot, and as I was watching it, I was like, I gotta look up the cast here because I was like, is Lord Garmadon Will Arnett who voices Batman? And I looked it up and I was like, oh wow, it's Justin Theroux, who is, the guy who plays, if you don't know, for animated people, he's Megamind's dad briefly in Megamind. He's also the guy who Winona Ryder is dating in Beetlejuice 2, who then ends up being a complete douche. But I was like, oh, him. I was like, Justin Theroux. Wow. And Jay is, was it Jay? Jay's the blue one. Jay is Kamal Nanjiani. Kai is Michael Pena, who is Ant-Man's friend in Ant-Man. Fred Armisen is Cole. And I don't know, Nia was a woman I didn't know. I think Abby was her name in real life. Like I said, Lord Garmadon was Justin Theroux. Lloyd was somebody I didn't know. He's like a teen. He almost looked like Zac Efron, but that wasn't his face. But it looked some young guy. And the mom, Cole's mom, or not Cole's mom, not Kai, just said it. Lloyd's mom, I don't know either. Some woman I didn't know. And then Sensei Wu, who is Mr. Liu, and the guy who is Jackie Chan was playing himself, voicing Mr. Wu, Sensei Wu. So I was like, that's so cool. But I loved it a lot. Like, there was like human elements in it. There weren't any human elements in the Lego Batman movie, which is kind of sad. Well, I guess there was the Tom Cruise scene, but other than that, it wasn't really human. But I like that there were human elements in the first two Lego movies as well as the Lego Ninjago movie, like telling the story. So, such a good movie. I love rewatching that. Like, I love rewatching a movie. Like, I was like, oh man, this is so good and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna have to, like, after discussing Lego Ninjago movie, like, that's one I'm gonna have to have in my backlog, like, keep going back to, because that's a good movie. Like, the Lego movies are so good, and all four of them are. And I'm interested to see now, like, after we watch the Lego Ninjago movie, I'm interested to watch this new Piece by Piece movie. It's a Pharrell Williams documentary done in Lego bricks. I thought it was a stupid idea, but more I think about it, I'm like, I'm interested. I'm so interested to see how this goes. And it has like a 93 right now on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's interesting. So we'll see how this thing does. But after rewatching that, I'm interested to I'm quite excited to rewatch Rango. See if I can get into. I don't know how I'm gonna watch The Lone Ranger, because I might have to go to Amazon. It's not on Disney. Funny enough, it's a Disney movie, but it's not on Disney Plus. They took it off. Oh yeah, and they took off the first the first four Indiana Jones movies. They only have Dial of Destiny on Disney Plus now, because Paramount wants the first four on their streaming service. But yet, like, everything else is on Disney Plus, and if you're a kid, you're like, wait, where are all the other Indiana Jones films? They go, sorry, you gotta go to this streaming service. But like, Anyway, that's that. So I'm wondering. I'm quite interested to see. Hopefully, I can watch Lone Ranger, but that's just me. So we'll see what happens with that, and I'll keep you guys updated on if I do watch the Lone Ranger or not. Maybe I'll tell you guys on the next podcast episode next week. But so yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, guys. So we are kicking things off here. I got a message. I hope that wasn't important. No, it wasn't. It was just in my group text. So, the time has come to talk about Camp Nahop. I thought it was Camp New Hop, but then I was told during the weekend it was Camp Nahop. It's Nuhop. It looks like New Hop, but it's just Nahop. So, anyway, what did we do? What did I do? What happened? Where was I? No, I don't know why I'm crying. But so this weekend, like I said, I went to a campsite. I personally did not camp. I kind of did glamping. There were people that, like, 7-ish people that camped out in tents. Let me see if I can count this right. So 1, 2. This is gonna mean nothing to you guys. I'm just trying to figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people that camped. I was close. I estimated 7. I didn't go over. 8 people that camped outside And then no, wait, shoot. Oh, that was wrong. I'm sorry. No, 7 people that camped outside. I thought there were 8, but I screwed up. Sorry, 7 people that did camp outside. And then 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry. I'm just counting so slow, guys. There were 3 or 4 girls inside. There was 2, me and the adult guy. I'm not naming names here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Because that, what's 6, 7? Plus, there were 13 people that went. 9 plus 4 is 13. So then if 7 plus 6 is 13. So yeah, 6 inside. Great job, guys. Great job. I did it. So that's what happened. 6 people inside were glamping. 7 people outside were camping in tents. And some great meals. I'm not going to go into that. So we had some great meals. We did some like life design stuff throughout the week. Or throughout the weekend. It was Saturday to Monday, which I got back yesterday. Day of this recording. YouTube time travel. I'm uploading this on Friday. So this Monday, earlier this Monday, got back at 3 p.m. And we left at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. And Canton Hop is like 2 hours away from BG, my campus. And we just had some like life design moments, some not devotions, but like group sessions of like challenges, like brain game sort of things, and to make it easier on you, that's what they kind of were. And like block perspective. One of the things was block perspective. I need to go into this because I need to send a message to the group itself. If they do or do not watch this, I need to send a message to them. So we did this game where I'm closing my eyes like to visualize. So we did this game like we built blocks like a structure, and from like like 5 people were builders, and like the rest of the group like sat in a circle and like looked at these pictures. We couldn't look at the pictures. We could look at our own pictures, not the other person's pictures. And it was like a Lego set, like instructions, like in order. But we had the builders built this structure based on our directions, based on the other people's directions, like other 7 people. So, or other 10 people, I guess. 10 plus 10. And so that was neat because then we got the structure correct in the end. Like we were trying to describe it, we got it right. And we did this game yesterday on Monday, the final day, where where we had to make this cup like dinosaur structure, right? It was like out of cup, clothespins, push pins, different types of pins, like brass fasteners, stuff like that, right? And, you know, like arts and craft supplies, rubber bands, paper clips, stuff. That sort of stuff. And mine turned out not right from the final product, but not everyone's did. There were 4 teams. Not everyone's did. And the thing about that game was like we had to run back and forth like to find there was one person that was like looked at the picture, one person that was a communicator had to get information from that person that was looking at the picture to tell me as I was the builder, and there were again 4 different teams, so everyone was building the same structure that was being told information, and it was so much fun and so chaotic, and I was being told this information on what to build for the structure, and I'm like, I'm doing my best, but I don't know if this is right. And I thought about it. I was processing this in bed last night. I'm like, you know what? I didn't say this to them afterwards about the game, about the challenge of game, but that's exactly what life is. Like we were talking about, reflecting on the game itself, and we did that after every game. But stuff like that, we then got the end result of what the camp counselor, not camp counselor, but sort of so, what his end product looked like as a dinosaur, and we're like, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. And I was thinking about it last night in bed. I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what life is. Life is messy. Like mine turned out not right at all. It was just messy. But that's how life is, right? Life can be messy. But from everyone's perspective, like the block perspective game, we got that right in the end. You know, we worked as a team and we got that right. Like you can get things right in the end, but sometimes like with this like structure that we failed as, making this cup arts and crafts structure, it was wrong. And life, just like everyone's was different, just like everyone's life is different. And that's what's beautiful about life and making friendships. Like, we all have different friendships, all different relationships, different life structures. But that doesn't mean one's good or bad than the other. It just means it's different, even though it's messy. And that's what life is. It can be messy sometimes, but it can be a good, happy, sad life. But that doesn't make it bad. And even though if you're struggling, people can build each other up with that structure. Oh, it's just like it. I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, I should have said that. I'm going to say that in this group chat we have. But man, I was like, I was getting sad thinking about it. I was like, I never thought about it that way, but I did. And I hope you guys can take that inspiration, those words of wisdom I just have given to you. But I'm like, man, I never thought about it like that. And I just thought about it. So there you go. A little bit of inspiration to you. We did that. We did on words and wrong day. I was going to say Saturday we got there. Like I said, we did these things together. But then on Saturday, we went to the lake, big lake. Excuse me. Went to the lake and we did people did water, what is it called? Paddleboarding? Not water, I don't know what they did. Paddleboarding, kayaking and canoeing. I did kayaking. There were no canoes, right? I don't know. Oh no, there were canoes. There was like a 3-person one. But I did kayaking. So much fun. On the river, on the lake, like river, pond, lake, yeah. It was a big lake. And so we did that day, and then Sunday we did a high ropes course and a big swing. Like a big, like rope swing, like pulling you up on a like pulley system, launching you down. I didn't do that personally because I just did the high ropes course, which they had like, look up Camp New Hop high ropes course, and you'll find it. You look up some pictures. Go to my Instagram page and you can see pictures of like the course. Like there was like a net to walk up, and like there were different like ropes on it, and then there was like a zip line. There was a zip line at the end of it, so it was so much fun. But I took my harness off after I did the high ropes course, and then I didn't want to put my harness back on to do the swing. So I was like, no. If I hadn't had a harness on before that, I probably would have done it. Or if I just left my harness on the entire way, but I was like, I'm not doing that. I took my harness off and I was like sweating, and I was like, I'm relaxing now. And then we had 2 hours of free time, and before dinner, I was like, I'm gonna go back to my room. I had no internet, so I was like, screw this. I took a nap. I dozed off, and I was like, good for me. I don't usually take naps or stuff, but with that, I was exhausted from the high ropes course and everything. So I didn't bring a water bottle on the trip either. I just had water liquid during meals and stuff. So I was like, perfect. So there's that. We had great campfires too. Great campfires, and everyone went around the circle at the last campfire. By the way, great campfire. I have pictures up on my page, Instagram page. Be sure to check them out. But we great interactions, and everyone went around the circle and said how each person's personality is, like what they liked about each of us, and it was so heartwarming. So inspirational, and like I just said about the whole cup thing, like about the whole game, like I just love spending time with people, and like these new people that I didn't even know was great to hang out with. And it's like the thing about this campus and BG, like we can do this, and it was so great to spend time with. Like I didn't know what to expect, and the whole time I was like, I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I did this, because fall break I was like, I don't know what to do. I could have just sat in my room and watched movies, or tried to hang out with friends, but some of my friends went back home. And I was like, this is great. This was a great time. And I don't regret any of it. I don't regret many things from my life. There are some things that I wish I hadn't done. Or like wish I could have gotten out of, like my robotics group. But things like that. Like I'm not here to trash on anything. I love my life. And the way it played out is fantastic. There are some negative things, but I'm not here to reminisce on drama. I'm here to look forward in life. Go forward in the future. And think about positive outlooks. And I try not to cry, but I mean, it's fine to cry, but wow, what a world we live in. What a great time I had. And I'm, like I said, this little device here, I'm thankful that I have these connections on my phone. And right after this, it means nothing to you guys. Like I'm gonna send a message out to my friends or to the group itself and tell them that, because those words of wisdom about the game. Because oh man, I'm very happy with how things went this weekend, and like I said before, things are happening. I'm glad I'm glad I've been able to come back with this podcast, because it's like that thing. Like over the weekend, I was like, I love my family. Like I love my family, my parents, and this weekend made me just think about things in general. Like the Wild Robot movie made me think about, go hug your parents, go hug your mom, go do things. Like I'm glad I made this podcast. I've come back and I'm able to do things this semester, and I'm not saying like I'm better than anyone else, but I'm trying to encourage you to do things with your life. And if you're watching this, just do things. Take the next step. Like I said, I didn't know what I was going to experience on that camping trip. Like I did the high ropes course. I was kind of nervous, but again, I'm going to go to a haunted house this weekend with a friend. Try to get somewhere. But I'm kind of scared. But haunted houses are fun at this time of year, and I really want to go branch out, get the fear out of me. Not really, but live life, live fear. It's a haunted house. Let's do it. So I did the high ropes course. That I got that out of my system, and it wasn't scary. It wasn't really scary for me. It wasn't nerve-wracking for other people, but I was glad I did it, and good things happened. So I'm excited for what's to come in the future. Stay tuned for more. That's pretty much all I have for today, guys. I said it was going to be longer. It was a little bit longer than normal. Pretty much as average. I'm glad this is going. So I'm glad where this is going. So that's, like I said, pretty much I have all for you today. Thank you so much for sticking here. Episode 4 of Behind the Screen. I hope you guys can stick around for more. I don't really don't know how to end these things. Please come back for more if you can, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. Stay tuned for the content on Instagram that I do put on there. As always, it's always good stuff, year round, and stuff. So don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me at Boba Fett Jedi Master. Stuff is popping up. Like, subscribe, follow me. Boba Fett Jedi Master. Link is down below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me at the Scream Speak channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm. Keep calm. Watch the screen. Peace out, everyone. Bye.